Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forge Lines Forever for another cast. It's gonna be a 5v5 on Selkie, and let's go ahead and get into introducing our players, starting with Team 1 on the northern side and Team 2 on the southern side. And we're gonna go ahead and go west to east, starting off with the purple Cybran going first land by the name of Rubby. And he is rocking this western position. As we move on to the gray UEF going first land, his name is RKX. Then on to the central kind of island position, we have ourselves a red UEF going first land by the name of High Resolution. Then over to the northeast for the air position player, we have a maroon Aeon going first land, best faction, and their name is Cairna. And then we can move on to the last player for Team 1, and it is, of course, going to be the Yellow Seraphim worst faction by the name of Darth Sand. He's a very, very evil grain of sand that he is. As we move on to Team 2, this time we're going to go east to west, and starting off, we have ourselves a brown UEF going first land. His name is Waffles and Tits, which is a very, very lovely name, if ever I've seen one. And of course, over here to the west, we have a blue Cybran going first land. His name is Scoob, and he's here to solve the mystery of who will win this game. As we move on even to the north, I don't know even to the north, what is English anyways, as we look at an orange Cybran going first land, and his name is Kaini, or Cyanai. You know what? Cyanai sounds good. It's Cyanai. And he is rocking that little central island position as we move on to the air position with a green UEF going first land, I believe. Yep, indeed, first land. And his name, of course, as always, is going to be B Master. He's not the A Master, he's the backup master. It's a real complicated hierarchy of the masters. As we move on to the pink Seraphim going first land, he is ferocious and he is prepared. His name is Battle Cat, and he's got some claws. Unfortunately, he went the wrong faction though. And, of course, with all of our players introduced, let's go ahead and speed up the game just a little bit, and let me tell you about an amazing deal open to you right now. You can go down below. There is a button that says Join. You know what happens if you click that very, very beautiful button? You get access to every single video before everybody else. There's a post. Everybody who is a member does get to see that little beautiful post, and that post links to a video that nobody else can see, at least for a few hours to 20, it's between 12 and 24 hours is how I try and do it. And of course, you can get access to that just by clicking it. It is only available to certain tiers and higher, but it's relatively cheap, so go ahead and check it out. And let's talk about what's going on in the game. We have our first little bit of action with the player Sinai having a few Mantis on the wrong side of a DM1 plasma cannon. And unfortunately for Hi-Rez, he's like, I don't care about your plasma cannon, I'm gonna walk up and I'm just gonna make it my bitch. He's just over here like, yep, this is how it goes. So yeah, High Resolution doing a lot better at dealing with these PD as he starts to do his little reclaim there in the middle. The reclaim, very important, but not necessarily game breaking if one side gets all of it and the other side doesn't. It doesn't generally dictate the map of Selkie as much as people would think. There is so much mass on this map, and there is so much reclaim whenever you start off, that it's very, very difficult for the reclaim in the middle, which is only, what, 7,000, and that's including some stuff on the outside, and there's like 30,000 around the map, even more, because these players all probably got into reclaim very early. It's a decent chunk of the reclaim on the map, I'll give you that, but it's not as critical as it is on, say, Settins. Alrighty. So we have a large push of land units over here to the west for Cyanide. Going to be trying to get a little flank off. Maybe he can get into the main base of High Resolution and deal some damage. Kills off a Mech Marine quite easily. We don't really have any aggression from either of the players in these positions. I'm heading over with my mouse. Rubby and Waffle and Tits not really opting to send their commanders over to the enemy's mainland. You usually see that on this map. It can be relatively effective at really just shutting down the options and the goals of those players in these kind of long peninsula positions on this map. And of course, not necessarily always the best play. It can definitely cost you more than it gains you, but I feel it's always good to make that little contest there. As over here to the east side of the middle island, we have ourselves a little bit of an attack coming out from High Resolution. Some Lobos, some Strikers. They're coming in and they're just having a grand time as they're going to kill off some Mass Extractors. Unfortunately for them, though, this story does end in tragedy because the heroes of the UEF are going to fall valiantly in battle against the Cybran. And the Cybran will write it down as a glorious victory, and all praise Brackman, our glorious leader, yada yada yada, capitalism, communism, something or another. As in the middle, we have yet another bout of PD versus ACU. Cyanide taking quite a bit of damage, but is slowly killing off that PD, and it decides to walk into a different PD. So Cyanide really struggling with the idea of non-movable structures that shoot real fast. And he's going to walk away without killing off either of them with a commander. Does have a Medusa over here, but there's a lot of units on the west starting to move forward. Let's get out of this microcosm that is the middle island and look over here to the Navy. We have some little boats coming out, a submarine both for RKX and Battlecat. They're going to meet, and unlike silent ships passing in the night, they're going to fire torpedoes at each other. And unfortunately, this always ends the same way. Doesn't matter the submarine type, the faction, anything about it, both submarines die right now. It's a very sad story. Submarine on submarine violence is atrocious. Gotta tell you. As we meander our way towards the 10-minute mark, we are no closer to see who's really on top right now. Both sides doing pretty well, although Team 2 much better economically so far, doing very good on that note. Reclaim-wise, I would Team 1 just slightly ahead, but not by a significant enough margin to matter. In the middle, we have a fight now going on between Mantis and Striker kind, and unfortunately for the UEF, the Strikers are losing, and the valiant Mantis have fended off the hordes of the UEF. Those barbarians trying to enslave them. How uncivilized they are. As over here to the east, T1 bombers being used to kill off a T2 sonar. Not a sentence you actually get to say all that much, even as a caster. Usually sonars, in my opinion, like, people build them, but in my opinion, sonars are like the least useful of all of the intelligence structures. Other than using them for, I don't know, what purpose is really good? I guess with the Cybran one, you get stealth with it, and that's really nice. With the other ones, you get like torpedoes and stuff. I think the Cybran one even gets torpedoes too. But they're just kind of weird. They don't get Omni, so they don't have that usefulness. They do get a large range, but on naval maps, the maps are always bigger, so the range feels less impactful. So it's just a little interesting thing. As Waffle and Tits is currently using his comm to try and kill off frigates. He rushed a T2 naval factory, and unfortunately for him, seems as though that T2 naval factory is going to go down. So Waffle and Tits having a really bad showing here. Unfortunately for him, his delicious meal is going to be cut short as he control Ks. Okay. Well, I'm very sad. I don't get to say Waffle and Tits anymore. His base is, of course, going to go over to Scoobs, who is the highest rated player in this game. So that may have a dramatic effect on who is winning and who is losing in this match. Unfortunately for Scooby, he has literally 0 naval factories right now. And on this map, Navy is kind of important as we have a huge assault now coming out from Cyanide as he comes to the middle and just starts wailing on the forward production of High Resolution. Unfortunately for him, though, this forward production has reached T2, at least one of them has, and the occasional pillar coming out is really just going to dismantle these Mantis with glee on its face as these double cannons of the UEF wreak destruction on those Cybran forces. Of course, everything going pretty much as you would expect, except for that Control K. High Resolution in a precarious position, has tactical missile launcher on him. He's gotten that upgrade. I don't know if he's managed to fire at too much of value, as he has no real veterancy on that comm. He also has gun and T2, but he has taken a ton of damage. I think there was maybe a snipe attempt. Do you see any remnants of that? Nope. I think that might have just been a big-ass army walking at you, which I guess you could call that a snipe attempt, but it's not. We all know it's not, so shut up. As we make our way forward with the march of time. Can never slow down, can never go back. As we make our... Unless you're playing StarCraft or some game with a much better replay system where you can rewind, you can't go back in SupCom, so we're just marching with time and marching with history, and T2 torpedo bombers are marching on the position of this Battle Cat fleet, and this Battle Cat fleet is being dismantled, destroyed, sunk, and decimated by the minute. I distinctly remember this, and somebody needs to let me know. Was there a point where people were like chastising Guile for using the word decimated too much, and they were really upset because decimated means like, it either means cut down by 10 or taken to a tenth of its original force, and like, it's not technically decimated. If you all did that, if you are one of those people who gets annoyed by that, screw you, because saying destroyed, annihilated, blown up, killed over and over and over gets really old. Let us use every word in the lexicon we can come up with to describe something getting blown the fuck up, okay? Okay, love you all. You're beautiful, but fuck you. Pay me. God, why is this my soapbox? I think this is like this is my outlet. This is just, you all are my I get paid to go to therapy. Whenever I sit down and do a cast, I just like, stuff comes into my brain and I just spout nonsense and anger. And then I say I love you, and that makes up for it because of my witty charm and personality. I know I'm not witty, charming, or have a good personality, but you know. In the center, a very unfortunate convoy, which is soon to be called the Trail of Tears, is being shot down one by one as they go single file around the mountain. And it is true, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes, as long as coming is death, and this has gotten more sexual than I was expecting. Shut up, get your mind out of the gutter. She came around the mountain when she came. And that was a... Alright, moving on. Let's talk about the air game, because that's usually really important. 15 minutes in, both sides should have T3 air on this map. I play this map a lot. I would argue I am decent at this map. Karna, not at T3 air yet. T3 air has been achieved, and T3 power has been achieved now for the illustrious B Master, mastering the art of aircraft right now. And that is going well for him. Despite the horrible, horrible pathfinding and decision-making out from High Resolution, he's actually getting really good trades here. He's trading these units out pretty efficiently. I think that he's going to want to get a bit more of a cohesive force and needs to really avoid going around the mountain the way he just did. You need to be a little bit more consolidated as Corsairs are coming in trying to kill High Resolution. Oh man, his blood pressure must be through the roof. He's like, why is everybody trying to kill me? Just let me be over here in peace and build my UEF firebase that I didn't need. This was built after the large attack. Since this has been built, none of these triads have fire. This is just a lot of money invested. Listen, I was told that point defense stock is going up. Stocks always go up, and especially point defense stock. I'm investing now, and I'm investing early. Otherwise, I'll have that FOMO, and I'll just hate myself when Point Defense Industries, their stock rises to $3,000 a share. I know it's only at 38 cents right now, but shut up. I'm a believer. I'm a pioneer of the stock market. His investment portfolio. You don't want to look at it. There's a lot of bad in there. If you thought that seeing the flag of the USSR was red, you should see High Resolution's stock market account. I don't know why I'm ragging on High Resolution this cast. He's a subscriber. He's in our Discord. Our Discord is a lovely place. I love to rag on the people from the Discord quite a bit. I also praise them for when they do well, but it's quite funny to me just to sit here and rag on them and know that they're in on the joke. You don't see me rag on people the way I just did with people I don't know, mainly because I just don't want to piss people off. And now somebody's in the comments right now. They're tip tapping on their keyboard saying, "You should just say what you want. You should bully everybody. It's so much funnier when you bully people." And that is a toxic mindset. Stop it. I'm just telling you all to stop. Be nice. That's my message for the day. Positivity. As we creep towards the 20-minute mark, Karna still not. He's like, he's over here. He's like, T3 air. Do I care? Nah. Care? Nah. Got no care for you. So Karna over here, enjoying himself a very leisurely stroll towards T3 air. While on the other side, B-Master is sitting on a lot of ASF, and what he really needs is to just look over here, see a bunch of T2 factories and say, I wonder, can he stop a strap bomber? Because if he thought that for a couple seconds, he would realize that building a strap bomber right now, or like 5 of them, is like the best play you could ever come up with. It's so big brain. It makes all the other people's brains look small and smooth. You have big wrinkle brain if you build strap bomber. Oh god. Over here to the east, we can see Scoobs he is just throwing everything at the wall. He's like, Riptides to get the Navy out of here, and factories everywhere! I need to be back in the water. I'm no longer gonna be called a land lover by all the people with boats. I wanna feel rich. I need my yacht. I'm really giving a lot of character to everybody in this game right now. But he is really trying to get reestablished in the Navy, but it's a hard thing to do when there's Neptunes rolling around and there's a bunch of T2 Navy. Here in the center, though, a much more rough thing to do is to deal with the investment banker himself, High Resolution, because he is just strolling in down Main Street. He's coming down the mountain when he comes. And he's just getting into the base of Sinai, and he's saying, hey, you remember when you didn't build a bunch of T2 units and I did? Yeah, this is why you build a bunch of T2 units. These shields getting so much value as the Mantis have to burn through them. And now he's in the main base. If he just targets down these mass extractors, it will be carnage to recover from for Sinai, who is now going to be in a really rough position. He even has shields to protect the pillars that are firing all the mass extractors. The mass extractors are going down in quick succession of each other. It's a disaster now for the orange Cybern in the center. The Neptunes are now rolling in, and they're just like, ha! What are you gonna do? And Team 2 is feeling the pain. They don't know why they boarded this train, but they're on the pain train and they're riding it to Fuckville. I feel like I'm playing a character right now, but I had too many energy drinks today. Trust me, this is a long cast. There'll be a crash at some point. Just be sitting here like, fuck, kill each other already. But until we get there, Torpedo Bomber's currently out for B-Master, really just going to town with him, trying to push back all of these Neptunes, these annoying little things that are just causing him so much issue. Scoobs has managed to buy himself enough breathing room to maybe get T2 Navy, but the question, as always, is at what cost? If he invests so much into the Navy now and it gets wiped out, it would have been better at that point just to invest in experimental and try and walk it across. So, gotta see where this goes from here. Let's go ahead and put it over here. Oh my god, Somebody else is in the comments tip-tapping away. Why'd you leave it? Why'd you leave it on reclaim, you dumb fuck? I can't tell exactly what's happening at every second of the game, and I'm insecure and have control issues and need to know every minuscule detail about everything ever, because I'm insecure. Yeah, this is just, I should just call this one the fucking Thunderhead podcast, I guess. Because this is much less of a cast and much more of a podcast today. Although, I'd like to say, I've caught most of the interesting action. And speaking of interesting action, that's a lot of torpedo bombers. And what I was talking about, there's just not enough air coming out from Cairna. He does not care nearly enough about the air, you know? And he is got T3 air, but he's not even the one leading the T3 air front for his team. That's RKX, who's doing very well in the air, and also at T3 Navy, making a Summit class battleship, and that is something where you can sit there and you can insert the meme for flex tape. When those Summit class battleships fire, it's like, I need a mod that replaces the Summit class firing sound with, that's a lot of damage! Actually, that mod would be totally cancer with how many naval maps I play. I would hate life. Please don't make that mod, because you make that mod and then I have to use it at least once, and it'll be very sad. So how are you all doing today? I'm trying to calm down a little bit. This cast is either just going to be unanimously loved by everybody who watches it, or everybody's going to hate it. Like, a very polarizing cast right now. You're one or the other. I bet you I get a bunch of unsubscriptions because of my off-the-railness. Or maybe not. Maybe this is what the internet wants. I don't know. So, Darth Sand, his powers betray him. Scooby has said, strike me down and I will become more powerful than you could ever imagine. And Darth Sand is feeling that right now, even though he didn't even really strike down his opponent. His opponent struck himself down. It was like, I'll kill myself and become more powerful than you could ever imagine, is like the Star Wars equivalent of what has happened in this game. And it's true, because while Scooby isn't dealing the pain out, he's stopped Death Sand from, you know what, this is a horrible analogy. Yeah, just screw it. Screw it. Screw everything I've said from this point forward, or previously. Death Stranding. Death Stranding is now getting towards the beach, but this is a lot of torpedo bombers, and I think that right now, if you right-click the torpedo bombers, he still dies. Although maybe not. He's got his pelvis out of the water, his dirty, filthy seraphim pelvis. Just vile and horrid, and all of the other negative adjectives you can lump together with the seraphim, because they are all so fitting. As we yet again meander our way forward, a Tempest has been built. Oh, Cairna, man after my own heart. I love me a Tempest. Well, don't just sit there with it. You gotta use it. Don't forget about it. Hey, forget about it. Okay, well, he is moving it. Wonder where he's gonna send it. Well, that's a very ambitious move order for a Tempest. Their pathfinding sucks. No, he's the Mad Lad. Nobody does this shit. All of the mobile factories, except for what mobile factory do people use? Like, nobody uses the build feature with a crab. Nobody builds with the Tempest, even though the Tempest is really fast at building. Has 240 build power. It builds shit quick. What's the other one that people don't use? There's another one that I know people don't use. They don't use the Fat Boy build option very often. The Atlantis is the only one I think that gets, like, you build it and you build things out of the Atlantis consistently. Like, you don't even build things with a Tsar, really. And I think it's mainly because you have to sit still, but with an Atlantis, sitting still doesn't really... It's so cheap. It's so cheap. As That is gonna hurt. That is an artillery battery now built up by Battlecat to try and ward off the forces of Rubby, who we haven't really talked to. I just realized I've been calling him Rubby. It's probably Ruby. Well, you put two B's in it, and I thought Bobby. So, Rubby, you know what? I'm dumb. But maybe I'm right. I blame you for picking your name. I picked a name that I admit is difficult, but my name is accurate. If you know both of the words in it, you're good. Most people know Willow. Most people don't know how to say Duality. My favorite one is whenever people say Dual Titty, because that should have been my name. I should have committed, everybody. I should have been Willow's Dual Titty. Advanced nano repair. Battlecat is, I mean, he's living up to his name. He has ARAS advanced nano repair coming next. He's gonna have a beefy comm that produces a lot of money. He's just gonna be chatting out with his comm all day. Unfortunately, it's still disgusting because he's fucking Seraphim. But like, it's good. It's good. I can't say it's bad because it's good. It's just disgusting. What's something that's disgusting but good? Like modern sewage systems. They're disgusting, but they're really, really good. Okay. As a lot of T1 boats are now conglomerating over here, along with the occasional T2 ship out from Battlecat. But Battlecat is massively outnumbered in the T2 for the race for T2 supremacy, and that might come to bite him in the ass here. These destroyers out from Ruby are gonna really get some value as time goes on. As long as they focus down the other destroyers, I think this should just be a win for Ruby, and I think that Battlecat agrees with me as he falls back. Over here to the east, battleships and lots of units out for RKX now holding the line. Darth Sand really just kind of abandoning the idea of going for T2 or going for Navy as he's building an Awasa. You know what? If you're gonna give up on one strategy, may as well have a really, really good backup plan, and an Awasa, a really good backup plan. I don't know why I tried to say that. A really good backup plan. Should have said it like that. Alright, well, in the center, we have a massive disproportionate response. So, Cyana currently has a whole bunch of Mantis. And in response to that, High Resolution has decided, you know what's the solution to this problem? Percivals. And I like this man's gumption. I also like the bravery of these poor souls, these Mantis, marching headlong into a situation where they are 100% guaranteed to die. There will be no survivors. This isn't Pirates of the Caribbean. They're not leaving anybody alive to tell the tale. There just won't be a tale to tell. Because everybody's dead. So Air has made another surprising turn, with the main Air players being Scooby and RKX, Skarna and Master B not really committing to Air as much as you might think, but Master B has a Master backup plan, or B Master, I'm sorry, not Master B, B Master. Well, B Master's B plan behind his beautiful foray, really? Speak normally, mouth! You all couldn't see it, but I pointed at my mouth while I said, God, visual gags don't work whenever I don't use a face cam, huh? But his B Master's B plan is beautifully orchestrated here because it's a nuke, and there's not a B word for a nuke other than a bomb, so he's making a big ass bomb. Alliteration is the key to everything. As in the center here, we're seeing the death of an empire, and it is a sad one. It's not going out with a bang, but a whimper. Skarna, or Cyanide, God, I don't have, there's too many C names in this, there's only 2 of them, Jesus. Cyanide has been ousted from the middle, he has abdicated the territory, his land has been ravaged by the machines of war, and he has gone into the drink to make his way across, and there's an Owasso finished up, and you know for sure we are tracking that bad boy, because Owasso or no Owasso, it is probably one of the easiest things to thumbnail in the entire game, other than the Tsar. It's so aesthetically imposing to see this big old bomber do some big old work. Just look at it turn. And here it comes. It's gonna drop a bomb right here into the ocean. Ooh! That was dirty, and it killed off Scooby? Is that what I'm seeing here? That's more than just the bomb from the Owasso, right? Did that one bomb kill off Scooby? How damaged was he? Oh my, Scooby's dead. Was that a Control K? The world may never know. I don't think it was a Control K. That's not like Scooby. He doesn't just Control K when something like that happens. He fights it out. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That wasn't a Control K. He was damaged by something else. Either that or the Cybern Comm while underwater takes more damage, and that's definitely not true. And that Owasso getting huge value there. And what is its plan? It's about to be shot down, though, because the air just not coordinating properly. There's no air to defend here. The Owasso is going to land in the base of Cairna. Oh, that's actually really nice from Darth Sand. He's just going to give the reclaim over to Cairna. Also, wait, B-Master, his nuke's about to be loaded. Does Cairna have an anti-nuke? There's no anti-nuke there. That's gonna be a big fucking problem. Does Darth Sand have an anti-nuke? Nope, he doesn't. Does High Resolution? No, he doesn't. Does RKX? RKX, the man who plays Selkie with me, has a damned SMD at 31 minutes, and that nuke just launched where... Yep. You know what? This is a double... This is so good. It's gonna kill off the Owasso wreck. Oh my... B-Master with the master strokes, the biggest brain, the wrinkles. I was making fun of him earlier for not building a strat bomber. Instead, he built a nuke and he made it work. May even catch Cairna if Cairna isn't careful enough. Cairna's right next to where that nuke is supposed to land. He's getting on a transport, needs to move quickly. Move quickly. Speed is the name of the game. Is going to get out of the range, I believe. Yeah, by now he's out of the range of the nuke. He's good. But this nuke is landing, and that mass fab farm is going to be very pretty to watch explode. If we can see it. It's a UEF nuke, so the entire screen's going to be whitewashed. But at least it'll be pretty as the nuke comes down and the base of Cairna goes up in flames. I called him Cairna goes up in flames. Sad, sad day for the Aeon. I believe he's our only Aeon representative. Yeah, other than, nope, yeah, he's the only one, isn't he? Ah, depression. The depression hits hard here, okay? Oh, and we have Rambo comms over here in the west out from Ruby, and he's just set up a firebase. He says, you know what? I'm gonna cash in the early walking the comm, and I'm gonna play that card later with the Rambo comms, and that is a hell of a play. Also, some kind of experimental just finished up. The Tempest was transferred over to RKX, which is interesting. The Tempest also built a bunch of cruisers at some point. I guess all but these two have died, still in the hands of Cairna. Was there another experimental built? Or was that just RKX getting the other experimental? I don't know. Fat Boy just now started up for High Resolution, though. That'll be interesting. And B-Master, we didn't get a chance to talk about it with the Owasso because there was so much going on. He inherited 3 bases. I'm very surprised nobody, he doesn't decide to give Sinai one of these bases. Just say, hey, Sinai, you can use your APM for something. As Sinai currently just homeless man with 3 engineers. It's not as cool as homeless man with a nuke, but is unfortunately the reality of this man's life at the moment. Oh, he has 1 mass extractor. RKX, I swear, RKX. If you just let this mass extractor live, you are both the coolest and the most infuriating person I've ever known. All at the same time. It's weird. It's like somebody who's annoyed by Jim Carrey but respects his acting prowess. Cause man, he's got some expressions. He can express himself. You ever met somebody who can't express himself? Just tell them to be like Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey. He's so good. That's a lot of pressure, actually. A lot of boats over here. 3 summits, a Tempest, a Neptune. This is going to be difficult to deal with. Honestly, stopping the Neptune now, or the Tempest now, and building cruisers right now. If RKX built cruisers, that would be a big brain play, because torpedo bombers are becoming a big issue, and they're becoming a big issue fast. As B-Master just has control over the skies. There's really nobody able to contest him in the skies right now. He's also sitting on a massive economy. Speaking of economies, his team is ahead, and he is most of his team right now. But 3 Percivals have been dropped in the backline by High Resolution. And High Resolution is here to turn the resolution down on all these structures, because I'm pretty sure that they have less polys when they're dead. Let's see. Does it get less polygons when it... Damn it! Damn it, High Resolution! Kill the mechs! It's literally like 1 shot, and he's just not gonna kill him. High Resolution, you disappoint me. Well, let's just look at this. It definitely feels like less polygons, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yeah, it totally loses some polygons when it dies. Okay, well, that's lower resolution. Not really. Like, it's lower mesh poly count, but fuck, I don't know what to say. So, the Navy for RKX is being interesting to me, because the battleships are sitting really far away, and the short-range ships are not. And that sounds good when you say it out loud, but whenever there's no Navy to oppose you, you want the battleships to be right in close so they can just fire at everything. Also, that's a chicken. That's Kentucky right there. That's the entire state of Kentucky. And now Kentucky is the worst state imaginable, and if my sister or family in general ever watch this cast, they will hate me. Because I said Kentucky's the worst state imaginable. As over here to the north, that's a lot of broadswords! And those broadswords coming in towards RKX's base. And I need to go back to Observer. Because this is gonna... Oh, these are whalers, not broadswords. Ah, silly me, thinking that the UEF player would have broadswords and not whalers. But that's a lot of whalers, and they're going for the SMD. If they get the SMD, this will wreak havoc on Team 1. The nukes will land is the key thing. The nuke has been a master play out from B-Master, and he is now giving us yet again a beautiful play. So he's going to be able to nuke right on top of all of this. A Novax that's been recently finished up by RKX. It's literally not even launched the freaking Novax satellite yet. Is it going to die to the whalers? It does. And that's just a brutal, brutal situation. Why does he have so many whalers? I mean, I guess there's this air grid, but, like, broadswords are just better. That's an SU dying to a chicken. Okay, I was about to say, did I miss a comm death? If I do, it's probably going to be Sinai, because he's got very little to show for himself right now. Would not even be surprised to see a Control K out from the man, and RKX killed off the mass extractor, but he didn't rebuild it. And he has a bunch of engineers in the area, which is interesting. And it's starting to look really dire for Team 2. more whalers are making their way northwards. They're going to be making their way towards the air grid of RKX. Going to try and get some damage done onto that air grid. Would also be a really good place to nuke. You could also nuke these 4 mexes, but I don't know how badly that'll really affect RKX. I mean, it'll affect him. But I think killing off this hub of production of air and just getting yourself just that little bit more ahead onto the air game, which you're using to abuse your opposition so much, would be huge. I think a nuke right here is the call. As we can go ahead and check on mass incomes, Battlecat and Beemaster topping the charts, which is what you want to see if you're Team 2, but Team 2 is behind economically. Not by enough to be like, oh no, we're gonna lose the game because of economy, but enough to be like, that's notable. That's interesting. As a huge naval engagement kicks off here, and holy Yathsel, Batman, that's a lot of T3 sub-hunters. Oh my lord. Oh no, there's just not enough here. You just attack move with the sub-hunters and literally everything dies. There's not nearly enough destroyers to stop this. No, why are you falling back? Why are you running away? You're winning. Yes, the boats on the surface are dying, but that's only because you have like 10 of them. You have so many submarines. Go forth and kick ass. Kill him. You can kill him. Battlecat, if you watch this and you are ever sitting on how many 20 fucking sub-hunters, attack move towards the enemy. And also have a T1 air factory or T3 air factory throwing scouts over this the entire time, because stealth boats suck. Another nuke has been launched. Where is it going? I don't rightfully know. It's going to RKX. I should have known. Okay, well, I don't know where in RKX base this is gonna go, but we're gonna get the money shot of it. I'm also gonna speed up the game just a little bit. There's a lot going on, I know, but like, it's mostly stagnant naval fights. That's an SCU. I refuse to believe the idea that that's a commander. Oh wait, was that nuke going somewhere? Nope, this is the nuke. All right, nuke comes down. Very pretty explosion. Did I miss a comm explosion? I most certainly did not. And yeah, beautiful nuke out from him. Unfortunately, though, doesn't kill off the quantum gateway. That's a sad, unfortunate thing, but does really shut down the air production, which means Beemaster should be able to control air for a little while longer. Karina's back into the air, and man, is he pumping out ASF. Oh, he brought the Yassos back to fight over here. I mean, these Yassos just still fuck everything here. UEF notoriously has a very, very hard time dealing with submarines. Yes, the Cooper is great, but most people don't like building Coopers en masse unless they have to. So these sub-hunters, they need to get some work done. But seriously, you have enough sub-hunters here, just attack move with any kind of decent intel and you just destroy the map right now. You don't need surface boats if you can just kill all of their surface boats and then some. Also, this is a lot of aircraft carriers. Holy... what? We're just seeing way too many boats. Like, way too many boats and nothing happening with them, it feels. And the Yassos are coming in. Those are both wrecks of frigates. The Yassos, I don't think a single Yassos has probably died. The Yassos can even kill this Tempest without even caring. And the Tempest is powerful, believe you me. And yeah, that's gonna be very unfortunate. 2 veterancy battleship going down there, that Summit class. And these Yassos getting a ton of value, just need to continue attacking. The only really threat here is if they cannot control air, which is starting to look a little bit harder for that to be made a thing. They're gonna run into the issue of torpedo bombers are really good. Tempest going down. These sub-hunters, I'm sure, are getting great veterancy right now. And they're going to kill off these frigates. As long as they don't target on one at a time, they kill off the frigates very quickly. One volley will kill off a frigate, I'm pretty sure, from Yasso. Has so much alpha damage in those torpedoes. And he's just destroying the navy of RKX. That's a Monkey Lord, but there's a chicken. And chickens are pretty good against a Monkey Lord, believe it or not. A lot of naval engagements are happening. How many Yassaus is this? Like right here, this should still be 20. No, it's 12. Okay, he lost 8. He lost 8 Yassaus and killed off 1, 2, 3 battleships, a Tempest, and countless frigates, and maybe a lot of other ships. These are amazing trades that Battlecat is taking with the Yassaus. Just needs to continue to make them happen and continue being aggressive. You have to be aggressive with the Yassaus, otherwise shit like this happens. Where Darth Sand is now going to be sitting on his five of his own Yassaus. And yeah, those T3 submarine hunters, they're very powerful, but they're also kind of like a ha, gotcha kind of thing. That's a fat boy that's going to die to Yassaus. Yeah. All of these Yassaus are almost to 1 rank of veterancy because they all got to help kill that fat boy. That's ridiculous. Wait. They're building nukes? 2 battleships building nukes. Okay. That is a development I did not see coming. But a lot of nuke focus out from Team 2. Another nuke being built up for B-Master. He has a nuke in the chamber ready to go. In the center, there's no anti-nuke loaded yet. Is there an anti-nuke here loaded? Oh, hell yeah, there's an anti-nuke loaded for Ruby. Over here to the east, a bit of an air engagement happening. That's a lot of mercies. That's a lot of mercies that all just died. Or no, they're killing off the Monkey Lord. Okay, I was about to say all just died to a Monkey Lord. Yeah, Monkey Lord got some damage done, but was kind of uneventful. Didn't even notice it, and even if I had, it wouldn't have been all that interesting if I did. Overall, just a lot of crazy shit happening, if I'm honest, around the map. Another strategic launch detected. Seems to be going for RKX again, or high resolution. High resolution, is he loaded? He's loaded. Okay, well, whoever it's going for, it's getting stopped, which is very unfortunate for B-Master. And it's starting to look like the sails. There's not enough wind in the sails of Team 2. They looked really strong for a moment there, despite having all of these players die, Scooby, and Waffles and Tits. Unfortunately for them, it just looks as though the mass differential, it's not big, but they just don't have the same number of units in the field. They don't have enough Navy to fight all of this off. And now with Yassau spam coming out from Darth Sand, he's up to 9 already. He has 6 factories just producing them, and he's not stalling, I don't believe. So, yeah, he's just able to afford 6 factories producing Yassaus every, let's see. How long does it take to make one? Every minute and 36 seconds, he gets 6 more, which is gonna be very, very influential. That's a engineering preset SCU. That's just gonna be 98 build power. Wow, that is a lot. That's quite a bit. That's 3 T3 engineers worth of build power. Battlecat and B-Master need to make something happen. What? So that's a Maver, casually. And it's casually being thrown together surprisingly quick. It's 16%. It's about to tick over to 17%. RKX, I mean, he has enough mass. He's getting some reclaim. He's not stalling yet. He will be, but not yet. Reclaim is very important. Speaking of which, let's look at the reclaim numbers. 143,000 for RKX, and everybody else is at 69. Nice. Or lower. So, yeah, that's a lot of reclaim from RKX. Does he have... Where's his engineers that are reclaiming? Oh, mama. Oh, he has enough to cover half of the cost of it right here if he just starts reclaiming. And if his teammates start throwing a bunch of reclaim to him, that could be huge. All right, shit's happening. It's popping off. Where are these? How far along are these nukes? This one has a nuke loaded. This one's about to have a nuke loaded. This one also getting relatively close to having a nuke loaded. We're about to have 3 nukes over here for Battlecat. There's one loaded in this anti-nuke, but there's a second anti-nuke built up, a third, a fourth. Man, Ruby knows the risks he's dealing with. Kill purple with your chicken, I'll cover with air. That sounds like a good idea. I mean, if he can walk the chicken up a good path, maybe. It'd be hard to get past all the Navy. I would be worried about that. Over here to the east, a Megalith has been constructed, as well as a large line of T2 artillery starting to be thrown up, as round 2 Electric Boogaloo of RKX tries to siege this base that has 1,000 SCUs in it. These SCUs, though, going to be tragically murdered is the best way I can describe it. You ever want to go on a diet? Well, that's what it looks like. In FAF, at least. The comm of B-Master is in the water, and if there was a place I would say not to put your comm right now if you're Team 2, it's the water. So he might want to look out for that. It's gonna get a little bit dicey. 24 sub-hunters versus Darth Zand sitting at 20. So, technically speaking, in a pure submarine war, Battlecat is winning. How much longer he's winning? Up for debate. But he is winning. And that counts for something. That's a chicken that's about to complete. 2 chickens may be a huge opportunity to go in here. We have 2 nukes loaded, a 3rd nuke loaded. 4 nukes are loaded right now. They can nuke anybody on the map and it will be fine. 2 loaded, none loaded, none loaded. Yep, they could even nuke Ruby, who has 4 anti-nukes. Definitely nuke high resolution. Couldn't nuke Cairna. And could nuke, or they could nuke Cairna. Well, no, they couldn't, because they'd have to fly over high resolution space. Could nuke Yizhao, and strategic launch detected. Where is that going? Oh, it's going right here. Okay. That's a lot of Aeon transports picking up a whole ton of UEF units, and I love it. This is what happens when you have teamwork, everybody. Alright. Well, I'm gonna have to see how that does. Wait, can it pick up like a... It can pick up 3 T3 units. It's done that a couple of times. Is it gonna... How is he loading them all at once? I don't know all the transport commands. I should, but I don't. I should watch Scooby's video. Speaking of which, Scoob, the player who died earlier to the Iwasa, he made a video on transports. You should go check it out. I'll mention him and link it in the comments. It's a very good video. Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected. 2 nukes. 3 nukes gonna come in here. Doesn't look like Ruby is too worried about moving his navy, so... Maybe he'll move it in a second. 1... 2... Oh, that's beautiful. Carpet nukening happening. That was an SCU. Man, I wish they would have been launched closer together, or like... I wish I could have gotten the carpet nuke thumbnail, but I can't. It's okay, we have plenty of thumbnail material here. The Iwasa is one. And another one might be this Maver, because this Maver is getting dangerously close to completion, and I don't know if they've seen it. They have seen it. Okay, well that's good news. The Yassaos are making progress on both fronts. Yassao's pushing forward now for Darth Sand, and Yassao's for Battlecat. Battlecat has an ungodly amount. I mean, they both do, but 30 Yassaos, I haven't seen that many Yassaos, maybe ever, versus 27. There's more Yassaos on screen right now than you have in, I would say, if you combined 100 games of Seraphim Navy. Because a lot of people don't opt to build a bunch of them. And in this game, maybe even more than 100, honestly, have been built. More than 100 games of that. The Yassaos are getting dangerously close to the Comm of Beemaster. And this base over here is going down. I wasn't really watching it. There was a Megalith trying to defend, but it wasn't going to ever do anything when battleships are on the field. And yeah, this base is now collapsing in on itself. Beemaster and Battlecat have put up one hell of a fight. You cannot say anything about the level of effort they've put in, because they have put so much effort in. It seems as though Team 1 has just become this unstoppable force. There's just not enough on the field to stop them. Maybe, I mean, they're doubling the eco of Team 2. It's starting to look brutally sad, and here soon it's going to even look more brutally sad, because we're going to see a commander die in about 3 seconds. These Yassaos are running out of areas where they can walk and not end up killing the Comm. And I guess I shouldn't say walk, where they can sail, where they can slither around, because they're nasty. Okay, Beemaster takes a few stray shots, but nothing critical yet. Okay, let's slow this down. That's an oh fuck moment if I've ever seen one. Also, fuck you amount of Yassaos. But that's an oh fuck moment. Slow motion ACU explosion with a pan out. Look at me. Fucking cinematic as fuck, ain't I? Alright. Enough patting myself on the back. That is gonna leave it basically Battlecat versus the world. Unless he gives this base to Cairna. But that is Battlecat versus the world. We're gonna go to +2 because it's starting to feel like Team 1 is got it in the bag. Couple of chickens making their way across the pass. They will definitely make it. That's a dead Monkey Lord, a very dead Monkey Lord. I don't know, maybe if Battlecat can win Navy, but now it's gonna be impossible to win Navy because he's gonna lose his T3 naval factory because all of his Yassaos are up here, not fighting the enemy Yassaos, and oh, it's a disaster. And a huge wave of drops. Oh, those Aeon transports dropping off UEF units, the collaboration, the most ambitious crossover of the century. The base transferred over to Sinai. He has a nuke in storage, but what can he do with it? And it's looking pretty ogre, if you ask me. The chickens are going to come onto land, but what are they going to be able to achieve? The Yassaos are going to have their giant engagement with each other, but I don't think that's going to be enough to save Battlecat, because he won't be able to produce anymore. He's lost his HQ. It's actually kind of satisfying seeing the dead Seraphim HQ, but everything else is fine because the Yassaos can't shoot engineers that hover. The chickens are making their way inland. There's a Monkey Lord they have to fight. Another one about to finish up. His base not long for this world, as Ruby should really think about relocating. I hear the Eastlands are lovely this time of year. In the West, you have a really bad issue with Seraphim parasites. They call it the chicken parasite. Really just drains away everything you have that's valuable. His base being dismantled by the chickens. I would think that you just use air to counter this. There's no real anti-air in the area, and I think Team 1 has a handle on air, so yeah. You want to know how you handle it? About 1,000 mercies. Even though the chicken has flak, it can't quite catch all the mercies before they disperse into flying death. And yeah, these chickens gonna die momentarily. Strategic launch detected. Where is that going? It's going over here. That will be stopped, won't it? Won't it? Yep. And the Calm of Sinai goes down to the T3 and T2 forces of high resolution. And yeah. Wait. The Maver is done. Okay. The Maver is done. And we're just gonna watch Battlecat die now, because this game is over. I clicked on the wrong one. Battlecat. Let me have you. He's getting shot at by a Novax. He has advanced nano, so it's gonna take a while. Oh, that was a Maver shell. Oh, eats a Maver to the face. Another one, and he's dead. Thank you all for watching. You've been beautiful. Consider joining the channel membership if you want access to every single cast earlier. The Patreons, you all are amazing, and thank you to the channel members who show up in the post-roll. I think there's one now. And yeah, stay beautiful. I'll see you in the next one. This is Willow, signing off.